Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here with today's video talking about WrestleMania 31 and Daniel Bryan's match against the big question marks about what is going down. Daniel Bryan, of course, he was out for I think about 9 months with his neck and his arm injury. Everybody kept on wondering, when was Bryan coming back? And everybody was so, joyful when we finally heard that Daniel Bryan was going to make his return and that he was going to wrestle at this year's Royal Rumble. I had him as the winner. I thought for sure that this was the guy that they were going to put all their trust in, that this was going to go down. When I had my Royal Rumble pool and I pooled, numbers 10 and 11, I was like, man, I ain't winning this. And at number 10, when Daniel Bryan came running out, I was texting my friends that I was in the pool with saying, send me my money. This is my email address. Send it here. And next thing you know, Daniel Bryan was eliminated by Bray Wyatt, who went on to have a great Royal Rumble appearance. And, then they went into the whole deal with Fastlane, where I was sure that he was going to be having some sort of a three-way. But then at Fastlane, he just flat out loses to Roman Reigns. He's a part of the Making Roman Reigns Look Strong 2015 tour, where just basically he goes out there, shakes his hand, and tells him, I was your doubter, and now I am a supporter. You were the better man last night. Best of luck going on to WrestleMania 31 and beating Brock Lesnar and bringing the title back to, Team WWE. And next thing you know, he just disappears as Paul Heyman comes out for his promo and his walk down to the ring. Now, Daniel Bryan is looking for some sort of a match. About a month ago, it was thrown out there by Dolph Ziggler that he was looking for a chance to steal a show, and people jumped onto the whole Ziggler versus Daniel Bryan thing. WWE was retweeting it, and now that thing is just sort of dried up and been done. On tonight's episode of SmackDown, I guess, Daniel Bryan is going to be one of the long list of guys to go up against Wade Barrett in a non-championship match and beat him. We've already seen R-Truth. We've already seen Dean Ambrose. We've already seen Dolph Ziggler. And now him, is Daniel Bryan going to become a competitor going after the Intercontinental Championship? I know that I'm going to be a total hypocrite here, saying that basically in a lot of my other videos, when guys like Rey Mysterio or guys like Dolph Ziggler have, been the World Heavyweight Champion and then take steps backwards and go after the Intercontinental Championship, it's not the end of the world. But for me, I don't know. I've been that one guy who was talking about, when Daniel Bryan was going to get thrown into the three-way, that I was like, well, Daniel Bryan's not Hulk Hogan. He's not, the biggest star we've ever seen before. He doesn't need to be in the main event of WrestleMania, and I didn't understand why people were crying about it. But then again, I wasn't really that happy about, Daniel Bryan going up against Sheamus for the third time at a WrestleMania 27. Their match was bumped for the United States Championship. It ended up turning into the pre-show Battle Royal to get everybody onto the card. Of course, at WrestleMania 28, we had a match that lasted seconds with Sheamus winning the World Heavyweight Championship, which sort of had built into the whole storyline of Daniel Bryan. And now, they're trying to push for WrestleMania 31, actually getting to have this match of Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. Of course, Sheamus is going to be coming back from his long injury. There was rumors a couple weeks ago that actually Daniel Bryan had gone to WWE brass and said, hey, this is the match that I don't want to have. If this is, what you guys are planning for me, let's scrap it and let's get something else. Throwing Daniel Bryan into an Intercontinental Championship, sort of six-way, six-pack challenge, whatever you want to call it, that, I don't know. If you look at the Intercontinental title, at least it's a little bit better than the United States Championship, but I think everyone in the world is just going to be praying, like, I hope he doesn't win it. I mean, like, the Intercontinental Championship would be horrible for Daniel Bryan because of what they made that title mean. It's not what it once was, 3 years ago. It's not what it was, 10 years ago. It's definitely not what it was, 20 years ago. It used to be a stepping ground to becoming, the man of the company when, guys like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, even when like Davey Boy Smith won it, it seemed like he was going to be taking that main step forward to becoming a main eventer in the future. And now it's just sort of like they throw it on, anybody. And, you go back to sort of like the Attitude Era when guys like Godfather or, Prince Albert, guys like that won it. That's when you knew, like, hell, even when Kane won it, He just didn't seem like a guy that needed to have the Intercontinental Championship. It didn't really make any sense to me. That's when that title was starting to get killed off and sort of die off in my eyes. And I really want that title to become more prestigious. But then again, I don't want Daniel Bryan to be the guy who's going to do it. It's just, he's been the main guy. We want to see him in the main slot. Can't you find something like making Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan, where maybe Sheamus comes back? He is like a real full-on heel. And we make this shot about basically Sheamus coming back saying that, Daniel Bryan's been, running his mouth saying that he needs to be put into that main event picture. Sheamus comes out and says, he's been a former champion as well, and people don't give him the respect that he deserves. Over the past few years, he's beaten just about everybody that's got thrown in his way. And, come WrestleMania 31, nobody was even mentioning him in the title hunt to get a shot. So, Brock Lesnar ain't showing up to Extreme Rules. We all know this. Contract or no contract, more than likely he's not going to be on this show. So, they need some sort of a main event. You don't need to full-on say Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus is your #1 contenders match, but you could definitely hype this up as it is a big deal. I think that more than likely it's going to be Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns at Extreme Rules. And that's the match that they're going to go with because of all the fuss about trying to get Daniel Bryan into that match. Now Daniel Bryan's going to have to try and be the guy who beat the guy and go from there. So lots of talk about Daniel Bryan going in to a match against Sheamus. Lots of talk about Daniel Bryan being added into an Intercontinental Championship match, like a 6-pack challenge with R-Truth, Bad News Barrett, Dolph Ziggler. There's a lot of guys that are going to be in there. We'll see what happens. See you guys later.